Good morning, Magic Tribe. Welcome back to the Magic Life. I am Unity, the Magic Mom, and today we are going to be switching it up just a little bit. Or should I say, we're going to be going back to a little bit of the old format from way back in the day when some of you first started watching me when we were doing the Conversations with God series. I am going to be kind of leaning more towards that bent here for the next little bit. I apologize to those of you who have been tuning in just to get personal cards pulled, but I will no longer be pulling personal cards during these live streams. If you would like a personal session with me, though, however, you are more than welcome to book one. All of my readings are on a by donation basis, and they're affordable for anyone. So don't let that stop you from booking. We have a website that is sort of up and running. I'm slowly getting content put up on there. The new Facebook page is also live. So if you have not checked that out yet, the link is now correct in the description box. Good morning, Taylor. It's good to see you. Today, we're going to be sort of staying the same, but we're also going to be adding in some of the old stuff. So, we're going to be discussing dealing with doubt demons today, because I know for me personally, because I've been launching so many different things, I've really been kind of getting down on myself, wondering if anybody's even going to give a shit and is in any way interested in anything I have to say. I mean, you know how it all is. And a lot of it has to do with a severe form of fear of success, because I know for me personally, I have a fear of being seen, just because, well, the majority of my life I was not seen except for as a tool to be used for other people's success in life. And it was never something that was ever really categorized to me, right? And that's kind of how this whole journey started. I started this YouTube page just because I didn't feel seen in my life, and I felt sort of put on the back burner by most of the people who were important to me at the time. Come to find out, you find out who your friends really are, right? And going through a lot of hard processes through my divorce and everything that entails, and the nasty realm, it really started to kind of reinforce to me the fact that maybe I wasn't good enough and maybe I didn't deserve to be seen. So after my mom died, I kind of spiraled down this tube of self-doubt and self-hate, and why wasn't it me? Why didn't I do more for her? And that kind of thing. And putting those doubt demons to rest was probably one of the hardest but most fulfilling things in my life. But they still crop up now every time I try to do anything new. And a lot of times, if it looks like things are going to fail, I just stop doing it. And that's something I really want to kind of get out of, just because maybe I just didn't give it enough time, right? So today we are going to be diving deep into this particular book. And we have discussed this off and on, most especially when we were doing the Gabrielle Bernstein book, The Universe Has My Back. She talked a lot about this particular book. Now, I bought the version that is also the workbook in it, so we will be diving into both every day. We're going to take it one day at a time. It is going to be a at least 365-day journey. This is a slightly, I don't want to say religious, but very, very spiritual bent, just like the Conversations with God series was by Neil Donald Walsh, who is also, his books are also based a lot on this. So I decided to kind of go to the source of all of those things that we have already discussed. I did have to take all of, or at least I thought I had to take all those videos off of YouTube. Come to find out, I didn't need to. So we're going to dive into this one and just kind of start from the beginning. So we will get to that, but first we're going to draw a few cards from the Soul Truth deck by Brianna Hovey. And then I will probably close this out with a couple cards out of the Universe Has My Back deck to just to go over everything that we've already gone over. So we're going to get 2 of these today because the workbook also has exercises for us to do as well. Okay, so our questions today are good ones, right? So the first question is, where can I create more space in my life? And right now, instead of filling ourselves up with a lot of busy work and things to do, we're going to create more sacred space in our schedule, in our home, in our mind, in our lungs, and in our heart. Today, we're going to take time to just be. All right. Our first soul action is to do a clutter detox of your schedule, home, and innermost self, and make space so that clarity will come. Okay. Thank you for those of you tuning in who are making space in your beautiful schedules to fit this in. I think that kind of categorizes with what this card is trying to tell us. And maybe you will get a bit of clarity too out of what we're going to discuss today. And the second question is, am I on the right path? Okay. So sometimes we second guess what we're doing and we lose trust in the process and question if we're even on the right path at all. Weren't we just talking about that? So know this, you are on the right path. Keep going, keep believing, keep remembering that you made a soul contract that you're currently fulfilling in every area of your life. And even if you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not real. Okay. 9 times out of 10, 90% of the people who are affected by the things that you're putting out into this world never in any way have come out and say that you're the one who helped them. But in a million different ways, they'll often think back to something that you said or something that you made them feel or something that you did that helped to create that space in themselves and remove their own doubt demons. So thank you for being here and helping me with mine. So our second soul action for today says to search for all the ways you are aligned with your soul's purpose. The signs will appear. So let this newfound trust fuel your next steps. And that is really the best way to put those doubt demons to bed, is to really rely on that faith in yourself and the universe around you that, well, it's got your back, that you're safe, you're loved, and you're protected, right? And you deserve to be prosperous. It's not something that you have to earn. These are things that you are born with. And a lot of times we have abundance blockages because someone along the way told us that you have to work really hard for it, or that only happens to other people, that's not meant for you. And, those things kind of stick, especially when you hear them in your childhood or hear them repeatedly from a lot of the grownups in your life who are supposed to be the examples of what you are, you have to look forward to when you grow up yourself, right? So a lot of this whole ascension process is unlearning that social conditioning that got us to where we are right now and unlocking that inner state of love, and that we just have to be. There's nothing that we have to do. And what you want for yourself is what the universe also wants for you. So keep clear in your intentions and your emotions. Very often they are your best guidance system about who and where and what you are doing. Okay. So on with this whole doubt thing. Doubt is just another form of fear. Okay. It's fear stepping into your life and saying, no, you're not good enough. Nobody's going to listen to you. You don't deserve that. You're not worthy of the things that you want. Your dreams are too big. It goes on, right? And sometimes the best way of getting around that is just to do it anyway. So even though I am scared to death that nobody is going to buy this cookbook that I have just created, I'm doing it anyway. And even if nobody ever purchases it, at least it's something that I followed through on instead of letting the doubt demons talk me out of it, right? And there's going to be more, So watch for that too as well. I'll post that up here as soon as it gets cleared through the publisher, which I'm hoping will be sometime just before Thanksgiving. So also really be clear about defining your motives on doing things. And we need to let go of that perfectionism that keeps us from doing them. That's also part of the whole doing it scared. The biggest thing that you can tell yourself is that you're perfect just as you are. And even if, none of these things succeed, who you are is enough, right? And the rest of it's all icing, right? So make sure you're really happy with the cake that you've made of yourself. And, everything else is just going to be the decoration. So today we are going to start getting really solid in how we define the miracles in our life and the reminder that we are one, and not just to ourselves, but to Source itself. So let's dive into our book. I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible. This is a humongous book. It's like 2,000 pages or something, maybe even more than that. So I've got it all marked out already, so I don't have to go searching through this. We're going to start with the introduction. Good morning, Robin. So this is a course in miracles. It's a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to give at any given time. The course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened, and nothing unreal exists. And herein lies the peace of God and Source. All right. So today we're going to go through chapter 1, which is literally just 50 different principles of miracles. Okay. Chapter 1 is the meaning of miracles, and the subtitle is the principles of miracles. And it says, number 1, there is no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not harder or bigger than another. They are all the same. All expressions of love are maximal. Number 2, miracles as such do not matter. The only thing that matters is their source, which is far beyond evaluation. Number 3, miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. The real miracle is the love that inspires them. And in this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. Number 4, all miracles mean life, and God is the giver of life. His voice will direct you very specifically. You will be told all you need to know. Number 5, miracles are habits and should be involuntary. They should not be under conscious control. Consciously selected miracles can be misguided. Okay. 6, miracles are natural. When they do not occur, something has gone wrong. 7, miracles are everyone's right, but purification is necessary first. Number 8, miracles are healing because they supply a lack. They are performed by those who temporarily have more for those who temporarily have less. Number 9, miracles are a kind of exchange. Like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense, the exchange reverses the physical laws. They bring more love to both the giver and the receiver. Number 10, the use of miracles as spectacles to induce belief is a misunderstanding of their purpose. 11, prayer is the medium of miracles. It is a means of communication of the created with the creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. 12, miracles are thoughts. Thoughts can represent the lower or bodily level of experience or the higher or spiritual level of experience. One makes the physical and the other creates the spiritual. 13, miracles. Oh my goodness, there must be somebody outside. Good morning, Fox Mama. 13, miracles are both beginnings and endings, and so they alter the temporal order. They are always affirmations of rebirth, which seem to go back but really go forward. They undo the past and the present and thus release the future. 14, miracles bear witness to truth. They are convincing because they arise from conviction. Without conviction, they deteriorate into magic, which is mindless and therefore destructive, or rather, the uncreative use of mind. 15, each day should be devoted to miracles. The purpose of time is to enable you to learn how to use time constructively. It is thus a teaching device and a means to an end. Time will cease when it is no longer useful in facilitating learning. 16, miracles are teaching devices for demonstrating it is as blessed to give as to receive. They simultaneously increase the strength of the giver and supply strength to the receiver. 17, miracles transcend the body. They are sudden shifts into invisibility, away from the bodily level, and that is why they heal. Number 18, a miracle is a service. It is the maximal service you can render to another. It is a way of loving your neighbor as yourself, and you recognize your own and your neighbor's worth simultaneously. 19, miracles make minds one in God. They depend on cooperation because the sonship is the sum of all that God created, and miracles therefore reflect the laws of eternity, not of time. 20, miracles reawaken the awareness that the spirit, not the body, is the altar of truth. This is the recognition that leads to the healing power of the miracle. 21, miracles are natural signs of forgiveness, and through miracles you accept God's forgiveness by extending it to others. 22, miracles are associated with fear only because of the belief that darkness can hide. You believe that what your physical eyes cannot see does not exist, and this leads to a denial of spiritual sight. 23, miracles rearrange perception and place all levels in true perspective. This is healing because sickness comes from confusing the levels. 24, miracles enable you to heal the sick and raise the dead because you made sickness and death yourself and can therefore abolish both. You are a miracle, capable of creating in the likeness of your creator, and everything else is your own nightmare and does not exist. Only the creations of light are real. 25, miracles are part of an interlocking chain of forgiveness, which when completed is the atonement. Atonement works works all the time and in all dimensions of reality. (26) Miracles represent freedom from fear. Atoning means undoing. The undoing of fear is an essential part of the atonement value of miracles. 27. A miracle is a universal blessing from God through me to all my brothers. It is the privilege of the forgiven to forgive. 28. Miracles are a way of earning release from fear. Revelation induces a state in which fear has already been abolished. Miracles are thus a means, and revelation is an end. 29. Miracles praise God through you. They praise him by honoring his creations, affirming their perfection, and they heal because they deny body identification and affirm spiritual identification. 30. By recognizing spirit, miracles adjust the levels of perception and show them in proper alignment. This places spirit at the center where it can communicate directly. 31. Miracles should inspire gratitude, not awe. You should thank God for what you really are. The children of God are holy, and the miracle honors their holiness, which can be hidden but never lost. 32. I inspire all miracles, which are really intercessions. They intercede for your holiness and make your perceptions holy. By placing you beyond the physical laws, they raise you into the sphere of celestial order. In this order, you are perfect. 33. Miracles honor you because you are lovable. They dispel illusions about yourself and perceive the light in you. They thus atone for your errors by freeing you from your nightmares, and by releasing your mind from the imprisonment of your illusions, they restore your sanity. 34. Miracles restore the mind to its fullness. By atoning for lack, they establish perfect protection. The spirit's strength leaves no room for intrusions. 35. Miracles are expressions of love, but they may not always have observable effects. 36. Miracles are examples of right thinking, aligning your perceptions with truth as God created it. 37. A miracle is a correction introduced into false thinking by me. It acts as a catalyst, breaking up erroneous perception and reorganizing it properly. This places you under the atonement principle, where perception is healed. Until this has occurred, knowledge of the divine order is impossible. 38. The Holy Spirit is the mechanism of miracles. He recognizes both God's creation and your illusions. He separates the truth from the false by his ability to perceive totally rather than selectively. 39. The miracle dissolves error because the Holy Spirit identifies error as false or unreal. This is the same as saying that by perceiving light, darkness automatically disappears. The miracle 40. The miracle acknowledges everyone as your brother and mine. It is a way of perceiving the universal mark of God. 41. Wholeness is the perceptual content of miracles. They thus correct or atone for the faulty perceptions of lack. 42. A major contribution of miracles is their strength in releasing you from your false sense of isolation, deprivation, and lack. Pardon me. 43. Miracles arise from a miraculous state of mind or a state of miracle readiness. 44. The miracle is an expression of an inner awareness of Christ and the acceptance of his atonement. 45. A miracle is never lost. It may touch many people you have not even met and produce undreamed of changes in situations of which you are not even aware. 46. The Holy Spirit is the highest communication medium. Miracles do not involve this type of communication because they are temporary communication devices. When you return to your original form of communication with God by direct revelation, the needs for miracles is over. 47. The miracle is a learning device that lessens the need for time. It establishes an out-of-pattern time interval, not under the usual laws of time. And in this sense, it is timeless. 48. The miracle is the only device at your immediate disposal for controlling time. Only revelation transcends it, having nothing to do with time at all. 49. The miracle makes no distinction among degrees of misperception. It is a device for perception correction, effective quite apart from either the degree or the direction of the error. And this is its true indiscriminateness. 50. The miracle compares what you have made with creation, accepting what is in accord with it as true and rejecting what is out of accord as false. Okay. And tomorrow we will go into the next section, which is about revelation, time, and miracles. Fix my spot. So let's jump to our workbook section in the back. And I'm going to read the introduction to you first before we dive into what today's lesson is. For those of you who are just tuning in, we are diving deep into A Course in Miracles. This has a slightly religious bent, and I don't necessarily believe in everything in this book, but I do feel it has a lot of really valuable content for helping to dissolve those doubt demons. All right. So the introduction for the workbook says a theoretical foundation such as the text provides is a theoretical foundation such as the text provides is necessary as a framework to make the exercises in this workbook meaningful. Yet it is doing the exercises that will make the goal of the course possible. An untrained mind can accomplish nothing. It is the purpose of this workbook to train your mind to think along the lines the text sets forth. The exercises are very simple. They do not require a great deal of time, and it does not matter where you do them. They need no preparation. The training period is 1 year. The exercises are numbered from 1 to 365. Do not undertake to do more than one set of exercises a day. The workbook is divided into 2 main sections. The first dealing with the undoing of the way you see now, and the second with the acquisition of true perception. With the exception of the review periods, each day's exercises are planned around one central idea, which is stated first. This is followed by a description of the specific procedures by which the idea for the day is to be applied. The purpose of the workbook is to train your mind in a systematic way to a different perception of everyone and everything in the world. The exercises are planned to help you generalize the lessons so that you will understand that each of them is equally applicable to everyone and everything you see. Transfer of training and true perception does not proceed as does transfer of the training of the world. If true perception has been achieved in connection with any person, situation, or event, total transfer to everyone and everything is certain. On the other hand, one exception held apart from true perception makes its accomplishments anywhere impossible. The only general rules to be observed throughout then are, first, that the exercises be practiced with great specificity, as will be indicated. This will help you to generalize the ideas involved to every situation in which you find yourself and to everyone and everything in it. Second, be sure that you do not decide for yourself that there are some people, situations, or things to which the ideas are inapplicable. This will interfere with the transfer of training, and the very nature of true perception is that it has no limits. It is the opposite of the way you see now. The overall aim of the exercises is to increase your ability to extend the ideas you will be practicing to include everything. This will require no effort on your part. The exercises themselves meet the conditions necessary for this kind of transfer. Some of the ideas the workbook presents you will find hard to believe, and others may seem to be quite startling. This does not matter. You are merely asked to apply the ideas as you are directed to do. You are not asked to judge them at all. You are asked only to use them. It is their use that will give them meaning to you and will show you that they are true. Remember only this. You need not believe the ideas. You need not accept them, and you need not even welcome them. Some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy. But do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas in the workbook contains, and whatever your reactions to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than that is required. Okay? So lesson number 1 is one that Neil Donald Walsh talked about in his Conversations with God series too as well. So some of you who have gone through that, who went through that series with me, right, recognize this exercise. So lesson number 1 is nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. Okay. Now, slowly look around you and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever you see. This table does not mean anything. This chair does not mean anything. This hand does not mean anything. This foot does not mean anything. This pen does not mean anything. Then look farther away from your immediate area and apply the idea to a wider range. That door does not mean anything. That body does not mean anything. That lamp does not mean anything. That sign does not mean anything. That shadow does not mean anything. Notice that these statements are not arranged in any order and make no allowance for differences in the kinds of things to which they are applied. That is the purpose of the exercise. The statement should merely be applied to anything you see. As you practice the idea for the day, use it totally indiscriminately. Do not attempt to apply it to everything you see, for these exercises should not become ritualistic. Only be sure that nothing you see is specifically excluded. One thing is like another as far as the application of the idea is concerned. Each of the first 3 lessons should not be done more than twice a day each, preferably morning and evening. Nor should they be attempted for more than a minute or so unless that entails a sense of hurry. A comfortable sense of leisure is essential. Okay? So that seems anything or easy enough, right? Nothing we see has any meaning whatsoever, right? Except for the meaning that we give it, which is what the message behind that lesson really is. This is about how we start to become the creator of our creation instead of just reacting to those things that are around us, right? So again, the questions that we got this morning from the Soul Truth deck were, where can I create more space and am I on the right path? So make sure that when you're asking yourself if you're on the right path, if it's coming from a place of love for yourself or if it's coming from a place of fear spoken by your internal doubt demons. Okay, so this is what we're trying to put to rest here. Sorry, I have the hiccups. And that is going to be the case whenever we start anything new, especially, right? So let's get our Universe Has Your Back deck out, and we will get a couple cards from there, and then we will close this out for the day. Remember, if you want personal cards pulled, please get a hold of me via email or the Facebook page. We do have 2 service tabs up. The donation for a personal chat session with me via like Messenger or something like that, which involves 1 question, is running right now for $5.55. If you're interested in a full 1-hour session with me via video chat, or I can just do I prefer video chat just because it works better. I will do the occasional phone call, but video chat works better because then you can also see the cards as we're interacting with each other. And that is currently running at $44. I do have 2 offers running. One is for new clients where you can get 22% off, and one is for clients who have already purchased readings from me in the past. You get 33% off. So I don't know exactly what that is. I'll have to math it later, but it's pretty good. All right, so our first reminder card from the Universe Has Your Back deck is telling us, instead of praying for a specific outcome, pray for the highest good for all, right? So we are shifting our thinking away from specific things and asking instead for the highest, something that is for the highest good of all, right? It doesn't matter if you know what that something is. We're leaving that up to the universe, okay? Let's get 2 more out of here. There they are. And we get, there is a stream of love supporting my dreams, right? And joy is the ultimate creator. Okay, and that's definitely something we want to move towards. We want to move away from creating from a lack perspective or the fear of not having something. And instead, we want to create from this sense of inner joy instead. And we're going to pray for the highest good for all instead of a specific outcome. Very often we will pray for things that are not good for us because we think that is what will make us happy. And instead we should be leaving it up to divine intervention. And a lot of times it will be way better than what we originally intended. Okay. So make sure you keep all of those things in mind. And tomorrow we will dive back into A Course in Miracles. Thank you for joining me for this journey. And until next time, may favor follow you wherever you go, as does my love. Be good. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other, Magic Tribe. I love you all beyond measure. See you tomorrow morning.